Decades after his apprentice betrays him, a once joyful toy maker finds new hope when his bright young granddaughter appears on his doorstep. Hey, how's it going, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. I'm here today to give you all my early review for the new Netflix original musical coming out next week, and that is Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey. I'm so excited to let you all know what I thought about this movie, and if you should be excited to check it out when it's available on Netflix next Friday the 13th. Before we dive into the spoiler-free review, as you can see on the screen now, make sure you're following me on all my other social media accounts. That way you all can stay up to date on what's going on over here at Movie Files. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the community. Make sure you all subscribe, and while you're at it, hit that bell so you don't miss any of my other movie reviews, TV reviews, live streams, all the fun things we do on this very channel. It would mean the world to me if you all can give this video a thumbs up. It helps out the channel, but I also really appreciate it. And in the comments, let me know if you all are excited for this film, and once you've seen it when it's available on November 13th, let me know your pros, your cons, and also what are some of your favorite Christmas musicals. Let's have a discussion about that in the comments as well. So with that being on the way, let's jump into my positives for Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey. So right out the gate, I was very impressed with the first 20 minutes of this film. I love how they kind of lay out the backstory of our main characters. And one of the best things about this movie is the actual visual spectacle. It was so impressive how we go from these animated scenes to the magical aspect to introducing talking toys. I really felt like this was an adventure. I really felt like this was a Christmas type of spectacle film, and I really enjoyed that aspect, which also goes into my positives with the production value of this movie. So from the costuming, which I felt was on point, the impressive set design of this vibrant town, the colors were popping, the energy, the joy was there. This is what I love about these type of Christmas movies is I want to jump into my screen because I want to be a part of this journey because it was just such a well-built world, which kind of brings me into my other positives, which are the actual performances, highlighting my two favorite parts, starting off with Journey, our main character, who's played by Madalen Mills. This is a star in the making. From her incredible singing to her charming personality, this little girl is someone you all need to keep an eye out for. I love how Journey represented hope and how it's so important to maintain your creative imagination, and how she was able to carry that hope for those that have maybe lost their dreams or maybe have lost their own hopes due to their past, which leads me into our other main character played by Whitaker, her grandfather, the world's greatest inventor, Geronius. He is someone that's lost hope. He is someone that's lost his dreams, and that's where Journey kind of comes in to lift his spirits. So going back to Whitaker as the world's greatest inventor, who unfortunately early on in the film, he loses his passion for making wonderful things, and seeing his transition from this loner who's on the verge of losing everything and not caring about his loved ones to seeing his arc to what we get at the end of the film was such a wonderful thing to watch. I mean, let's talk about it. Whitaker, man, he's an Oscar-winning type of actor, and I really enjoyed how this film didn't necessarily make him like a Scrooge who hated Christmas, but from someone that had a lot of passion of making people happy to losing that very early on, and seeing where he's at the end of the film was such a great art and such a great journey. With speaking of journey, him and his relationship with his granddaughter was so much fun and really made this feel like a Christmas tale. So I definitely wanted to highlight the writer and director of this movie, David E. Talbert, who I'm going to be honest with you all, I'm not the biggest fan of the movies I've seen of his in the past, but I was really impressed by his direction and writing within this film, which also I wanted to highlight something I really appreciated. Growing up as a kid, watching things that I love like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, stories that can go across all the world and everyone can relate to, but I'll be honest, they don't have a lot of black people within those films, in particularly in the lead of those movies, so it was really kind of cool to see a primarily black cast tell this Christmas tale. And even though I didn't grow up with most of that, it's cool to know that kids of this generation will be able to see themselves on screen. So wrapping up my positives, I definitely want to highlight the musical aspect of this movie. And this is coming from the guy that isn't a big musical person, but I will say Mrs. Johnson's song, Smile, I had a good time with that song. And also I had a good time with that character. And then also Journey song, The Square Root of Impossible, really powerful song, great performance by that young lady. And then this isn't a musical per se, but there is a dance sequence of sorts that involves snowball fighting. I had a really good time with that. So with that being said, let's transition into some of my criticisms that I have with this movie. So unfortunately, it does pain me to say this because I'm such a big fan of Keegan-Michael Key, but he did not work for me at all in this movie. I didn't like his solo song. I felt like the character was lacking development. I found like just the character just didn't work. The performance wasn't all that strong, if I'm being honest, which also brings me to his sidekick voiced by Ricky Martin, Don Juan Diego. Those two characters just didn't work for me in general. That also brings me to the musical aspect. I mentioned the two songs I really enjoyed, but I found like some of the other songs weren't that memorable. They were almost kind of misplaced within the film, in my personal opinion, and they also almost ran a little bit too long. And my boy Forest Whitaker, who I enjoyed in this movie, I wasn't a fan of his 2 songs solo-wise. I just thought they didn't sound that great, if I'm being honest. And also, lastly, when it comes to the runtime, this film clocks in right around 2 hours, which I personally felt that's way too long for this movie. If it would have been an hour and a half, maybe an hour 40 at max, I thought it would have been a perfect runtime. But there were definitely moments where I felt the pacing was just a little bit off. There were some subplots that I thought were unnecessary. Like, I felt like the third act felt really rushed, and particularly the Buddy 3000 storyline. It just felt like it was a little underdeveloped. So those are my pros, those are my cons. Before I give you all my overall thoughts, make sure you all give this video a thumbs up. Helps out the channel, but also really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell so you don't miss any of my other early reviews. With that being said, let me give you all my overall thoughts. This musical adventure and visual spectacle was a lot of fun. I love the message in this film about never giving up on your dreams, and even though you're an adult, it's important to keep your imagination, and sometimes you have to lean on your loved ones to get you through the struggles that life throws at you. Madalen Mills is a star in the making, and I really enjoyed her performance as well as Forest Whitaker. And like I said in my positives, it was so cool to be able to see myself on the screen and how this generation will be able to see that as well. And then with all the stuff going on in the world, we need more movies like this. So with that being said, I'm going to give Jingle Jangle a 3.5 out of 5. I recommend you all check it out when it becomes available on Netflix November 13th. And when you see it, let me know what you all thought about the film, your pros, your cons, your favorite songs. Let's have a discussion about it in the comments below. And also, what are some of your favorite Christmas musicals? Let me know that as well in the comments. So as always, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any of my other early reviews. Thank you all for watching this video. Hope you're staying safe, and we'll see you all on the next video.